If you are feeling overwhelmed by the fact that summer is almost gone, like I am, then today is the day that we organize our entire lives in one weekend. And no, I don't mean the physical act of organizing your space. At least we're not doing that yet. Today, we are going to focus on organizing the mental load that comes with having a bunch of unfinished to-dos. And by the end of this video, we should have a pretty good understanding of the systems that we need to put in place in order to actually organize our entire lives. If you've stumbled upon this video by searching, then you may have come across a term called brain dump, which is essentially the art of just taking a piece of paper, a pen and piece of paper, and basically dumping all of your thoughts out into a piece of paper. Some people are able to categorize this easily by just creating different categories of their lives, compartmentalizing, different categories of their lives, so like work, home, and kids and different things like that. And honestly, this is super helpful if you're the kind of person that can sit down and actually create these categories. But if you're like me, you have all these different ideas floating in your brain and all these things that you need to do. And by the time you sit down with a pen and paper, it's like your brain goes blank and you maybe jot down like one or two simple little tasks that you remember, but then that's it. And you don't have a good idea or a place to store all the running to-do lists. Maybe you quickly remember like, okay, well, I need to get milk from the grocery store, but you forgot that you ran out of soy sauce, let's say, for example, something that you don't use as often or whatever. And you don't have like a good list for that. So you just go to the store, you get milk, and then you forget the soy sauce, and then you got to go back to the store. So that's kind of how my brain works. It's like by the time that I sit down, I completely blank out on what it is that I need to actually jot down. So to get my life back on track and make sure that nothing is falling through the cracks, I am using a handy dandy tool called the Wheel of Life. This is a handy tool to have on hand, and you can download a free copy below. You don't need to enter your email or anything like that. But basically, you go through this list and you can rate the different categories of your life, or the major categories of your life, that will allow you to create a balance within. So what I've done is I've created a list version of the Wheel of Life with all the different categories in which you can go through and actually jot down the to-do list that you need to do within these different categories. I'll explain a little bit more. So the idea for me here is that obviously, these are the different categories of your life that will give you the most balance. So most of our to-dos should fall into one of these main categories. I am going through each of these and adding in as many specific details as I can to each of the categories. So for example, if you're looking at your health, in here, you're gonna write down what are the things that you wanna do for your health specifically. You may put in here, get my yearly physical, schedule a dentist, cleaning. You can put in here a specific workout that you're doing. You can put tracking macros, whatever have you. You kind of the idea. So that would be the different things that would fill out your health category. For finances, for example, you can put meal planning, which I know could potentially fall under family, but definitely meal planning. Grocery is like one of the most overspent budgets and the ones that we can control the most. So I think that that would belong under finance. Creating a budget for your family would fall into finance. Maybe starting a savings account, getting sinking funds for different things that you have coming up. So for example, something that happens to me literally every year is that my kids' birthdays, my birthday, everything happens in the fall. And so every year I'm just like, I wish I would have saved a little bit more for it. I don't want to feel as stressed out about it. So this year I'm making a plan to make sure that I have automatic transfers from the checking account to the savings account so that there is a little bit of a sinking fund for all of our fall activities. And you can do the same for Christmas. It's a great time to actually start one for Christmas. If you start saving between August, September, October, November, you have 4 months to add just a little extra cushion so that when Christmas time comes around, you're not feeling so stressed out about the money that you're spending. So what we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna go ahead and fill this out together. I definitely encourage you to print this out. Like I said, it's totally free on my blog. Just click on the link below and you don't have to enter your email or anything like that. I just wanted to provide a visual and an actionable item that you can use to get your life in order. Encourage you guys to take some time with this, print out the pieces of paper. It's only 2 sheets of paper, and just kind of keep it with you. And throughout the day, as you're remembering different things, go ahead and try those to the categories. So for example, another thing that I have is we've been meaning to get passports done for literally like 5 years now, and we haven't done it. So I'm gonna put that under family category. But another thing that really helps is breaking up the tasks that require more than one step. So for example, when it comes to my example with the passports, it was we needed to get the birth certificates. Before that, we needed to find the key to the safe so that we can get the birth certificate. You know what I'm saying? Anything that requires you to take multiple steps, go ahead and detail those out so that you can better prepare for the task at hand. Thing that I did here was I left a few uncategorized lists, and these could be great for creating shopping lists that you need to have, for example, for different stores. Again, going back to the soy sauce example, anytime I pop into Dollar Tree, there are specific little things that I want to get. And just because it's not something that I think about constantly, I walk into the store, I get whatever I need, and then I completely forget. So having these lists created for the different stores that I frequent, one for Target, one for Sam's, one for Dollar Tree, that really helps out have an idea of what it is that I need to get when I go to the stores. And it helps me shop more mindfully as well as actually get things done. So once you've gone through and have a good idea of what your list looks like, this is where the fun begins. We are gonna go ahead and take our handy dandy planner, and if you are a paper and pen planner like I am, or a digital girly, I'm a little mix of both, but go ahead and take your planner out. And this is where we are going to take action and schedule all these different things into our planner. If you are a parent like I am, one of the things that I like to start with is getting my kids' school calendar out. You can print this from your school's website, and then go through your schedule and mark any days that they have off, any teacher work days, any vacation, any early releases, so that when those days do come up, you are not as surprised or shocked by it, and you've made appropriate plans for childcare, or you have activities planned for, the kids are out. I remember when my daughter was first in kindergarten, we just, we weren't on top of it. So she would have these breaks and we just never planned for it. So now we make sure that we schedule everything out so that we know when they have their days off. That also helps me when I'm calling to schedule their yearly dentist appointment or their yearly wellness checkups. I can go through and make sure that way they don't miss any school days. And it just makes it so much easier to plan different things around that. With that same token, go ahead and put in your schedule anything that you do. For example, another thing that like literally gets me every year is the registration of my car around my birthday. I have to do it in November, and for whatever reason, again, fall just gets very busy for us, but for whatever reason, it's a shock for me every year. I don't know why, but that also requires multiple steps. So not only do you have to get a registration where I live, but you also have to have a car inspection. So what I'm gonna do is for first week of November on here, I'm gonna put the car, not only get car registration, but also have the car inspection done around that same time so that I know when to go ahead and schedule that. Obviously, it's too early to schedule that, but I'm just saying that gives me an idea. So when I look at my schedule every day, I see what to-dos I have coming up. I know that that is one to-do that I have coming up at that time. So that is all I have for you, my friends. If you want to look at more examples and different details and things that I've added to my list, go ahead and go to the blog post that accompanies the free printout. You can read on there, you can see my example. And if you have any questions, don't forget to just leave a comment. If you are enjoying the content of this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It means the world to me. And I am so excited. I hope that this helps you, those of us that don't have our things together in that way, and we need a little bit of help categorizing things. Thank you so much, you guys, and have a great day.